Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I've got a couple of videos that I want to do with regards to going back to school. I've just filmed a back to school makeup look, which is of the makeup that I'm wearing right now. It's just really quick and easy. If you haven't already seen that, I'll link it around here so that you can go and have a look at that. There is also a giveaway on that video. I think there's also more of a sense of pressure at college because yes, at high school you've got GCSEs, but you've got a lot more time to settle in and get to know the place, whereas at college it's typically only 2 years, so you literally have to hit the ground running and you have to go with your subjects and just go with them, and you've got the pressure of what you're going to do afterwards. And the college that I went to is very much you go to university when you leave here, but obviously there are so many different options available now and university isn't necessarily right for everybody. So I just think that you just have to be a lot more focused and be prepared to be a lot more independent and just grow into yourself as a person. They are very different, but you I think that the main difference from going to secondary school from college is that you are getting older, you're being let out into the big wide world, you've chosen which college you want to go to, which you didn't probably choose what high school you wanted to go to, your parents probably did that for you. You choose your own subjects and you choose your own clothes, you're aiming for something that you want to do, and it's a lot more independent. The next question that I've got is from Alice Woodhead, and Alice actually comments on quite a lot of my videos recently. She's just found my channel, but it never lets me reply to you, so I've liked the comments, but I just want to say now that I've got the chance, thank you for commenting because it really means a lot. Alice asked, what's the best advice you can give to starting uni? She starts in September and she's petrified. Alice sounds a lot like me. She put on her comment that she's not really a party girl, she doesn't drink a lot, and she's quite scared about going to university. When it was my turn to go to uni, I changed what subjects I wanted to do about a month beforehand, and I really didn't want to go, and everybody was just kind of saying to me, Amy, you need to go, it's just because Thomas is here, because me and Thomas were together then, you've got to go, this is going to be the making of you, university is really important. And I, to this day, wish I hadn't gone. I'm not saying that that's the thing for everybody, but I had a gut feeling that university wasn't going to be for me, and it was, as I said before, the college that I went to kind of pushed everybody into that way of thinking that university is the only really option, and I got pushed into that, and I just knew that it wasn't right for me. Changing the subject a month before you go, I think, says it all. I was going to do English and journalism, and then literally a month before, I changed it to psychology and criminology. When I got to uni, I'm thinking of doing a whole video on this because I've got quite a lot to say about the whole thing, so I'm just going to answer the question, and I think I'm going to make this a separate video. Maybe my next video will be my story so that it becomes a lot clearer, because it's proving a little bit difficult to get everything out so that this video isn't mega long. The best advice that I can give you is just be yourself. If you don't want to go out drinking, you don't want to go out partying, you don't have to. I didn't, and at first some of the people you put with when I was there, they were a bit like, you don't really drink, you don't want to come out. For me, I'd never been out into Blackpool. I'd only ever been out when I was at college in Polton, which was like a really small town. Blackpool is a lot bigger. I went to uni in Liverpool, which is a much bigger city, and I was petrified, and I'm just not really that kind of person. All I can say to you is be yourself. Just concentrate on what is important to you. If you don't want to go out drinking, if you'd rather just go to the pub for a couple of lemonades and enjoy your time with your friends, if you make friends there, they will understand. Drinking isn't for everybody, and it wouldn't do for us all to be the same. Just try and it's really important that when you're there that you try and make friends, because I think university can be quite a lonely place if you don't have friends there. So just be confident. Everybody is in the same boat as you. Everybody's probably just as nervous. Yes, there'll be some people there that drink more. There'll be people there that are more confident, that come across really, really brazen and loud, but everybody deep down will be feeling just as nervous as you because you're all going through the same thing. So don't be afraid to be the one that kind of goes up to somebody and says, hi, my name's whatever, because that's the real world, and it's just about, just get out there, just try and make friends, and don't worry about things like drinking, going out partying, because yes, some people think that that's a massive part of university. I did 2 years there and I hardly did that. Everybody's university experience is different because everybody is different, and I just try to not worry about it too much. Don't be petrified, because you're only going to get the opportunity once, and you've got to try and make the best of it that you can. You've worked hard to get there, and just because you don't drink and just because you don't want to go out clubbing every single weekend, it doesn't make you any less of a person, and people shouldn't see you that way. So just be yourself and just try to have a little bit more confidence and faith in yourself. Lauren Gear asked, I'm really sorry if I've not said your name right there, Lauren, that she's just got her AS results and she didn't do too well. Apart from resits, nobody has given her any other options, and she hates feeling like she's wasting years doing things that she doesn't enjoy. When I was at college, I basically had exactly the same experience as you. In my first year, I did German, French, history and English language. So quite 4 heavy going subjects there. And when I got my results after my first year, I failed French. I got an E, I think, or maybe a U. No, I think I failed French. I got a U. I got an E in German, a C in history, and a B in English language. And I was devastated. I was a girl at high school that worked and worked and worked, and I came out with good results. I was always revising, and at college something just switched in me. I think I just really didn't enjoy it. I think I had a bit of a conflict of interest with myself. I struggled kind of having to be more responsible and independent, and I didn't do very well in my first year, and I didn't really try hard enough, but it had been and gone. I'd got my results, and now I was having to sit there and think, what am I going to do with second year, because second year is more important than first. I want to go to uni after it, well I thought I did, and I need to basically get my act together. I had gone from doing German and French at high school and getting A's, and then when I went to college it was so much more intense, and it just seemed to be on a completely different level than what it was at high school, and I just wasn't prepared whatsoever. So I decided to drop French and German in my second year, because typically you drop one subject anyway. So I would say drop the subject that you've either done worst in or you really don't want to carry on with, you don't think you're going to do well in the next year. So I dropped French because obviously I failed that, I hated it, so I dropped that. I also dropped German because I didn't want to resit, because I knew I just wasn't going to be able to do it. It wasn't like I'd just not revised, it wasn't that I just had a bad day in an exam. I physically couldn't do it, and I just couldn't grasp it. So I dropped German and French, which was really hard for me to do because they were my favourite subjects at high school apart from English, but at the time that was just the only really decision that I could make, because otherwise I was never going to get the grades that I needed. So I dropped both of them. So at that point I was still doing English language and I was still doing history, and they were 2 subjects that I'd done okay in, and I wanted to carry on with them in second year. Then I found a person in college that basically I don't think I would have got through college if I hadn't have found this person, and he was a teacher that basically did all the timetables, and he might have been a year head, I'm not sure, or head of like lower 6. I can't really remember. I think he was head of lower 6, and he sorted all the timetables out. I went to talk to him about what I could do with my subjects, and he was the only person that really I felt like wanted to help me. He wanted me to do better, and he wanted to make it possible. So if you've got someone like that at college that you think you can go and talk to about it, go and talk to them. I didn't sort my subjects out until nearly the end of September when I went back to college, so you've got time, don't panic. And basically what I ended up doing was taking travel and tourism as an AS subject. So So that meant that I had English and history that were going to be A-levels, and travel and tourism that was going to be an AS level, and that's what I came out with. And I know it doesn't look as good on CVs because you've not got 3 A-levels, but for me it was more important to have 2 really good A-levels and then an AS level than to have 3 A-levels that were not going to be good grades and that I wasn't going to do very well in because I had a subject that I couldn't do. So that is what I did. They worked my timetable out, and it was a bit weird doing travel and tourism with the year group that was underneath me, but you just adjust, you just do what you've got to do, and at that point in time that is what I did. I then came out with an A in English language, a C in history and a B in travel and tourism. So I think it was a B. I can't even remember. See, when you leave and you get past this, I know it's hard for you to believe at the moment because people used to say it to me, but you don't even think about your grades when you leave. It's crazy, but just do the best that you can. Find somebody that you can talk to and just do what you need to do for yourself. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks, like, oh, she's got to resit, oh, she doesn't have 3 A-levels, she's only got 2. It's not their life, it's yours, and you've got to do what you think you can. Samantha Muser asked, if I could change anything about me when I was at school, what would it be? This is a tricky one, and something that is I have a very heavy heart about. When I was at school, I had the best time ever. I think I was a different person to who I am now. I definitely looked a lot different, and I think one thing that I would change about myself is I would try to worry a lot less. But that's easier said than done because I'm still that person now. I still worry about everything and I don't have a lot of confidence. So I guess they're 2 things that I'm still working on, but I think at school that really would have come in handy to have more confidence to stick up for myself and not worry about the little things. And I enjoyed school, I got through it, I had an amazing experience, but I think that that would have helped a little bit if I had those things. And also I think that it would help to have the knowledge that you have when you're a little bit older, as in now I kind of think everybody's different and everybody should be nice to one another. If they're not nice to you, ignore them, they're not worth your time. Whereas at school there were mean people. it was bullying in a form, but it wasn't near enough as bad as what other people go through. But people used to throw tomatoes at me, and that's a whole other story. People used to call me names, spit rubber in the back of my hair, and just generally weren't very nice to me for a period of time at school. And I think if I knew what I knew now, that they're just not worth your time, you are a better person than they are, just ignore it and move on. I think I would have saved myself a lot of tears at high school. So I think that's definitely what I would say to that question. Then I have a couple of questions from What Lid Did, and the first one was, what was my favourite part of school? My favourite part was probably the relationship that I had with the teachers and just the general atmosphere of feeling safe, having somewhere each day that I looked forward to going to, and I really enjoyed school. I know that there's not many people out there that can say that, but I loved school, and I just think it's important to enjoy every single day that you've got whilst you're there, because it does go quick and you will miss it when you leave if you are still at school. Believe me, you will. But I think that was my favourite part. I had a really good relationship with a lot of my teachers, and I think that the more respect you have for them, the more respect they have for you, and I definitely grasped onto that. And I don't know, I really loved school. She's then asked, why did I leave uni? And she said on Instagram that she's really sorry if that was too personal, that I didn't have to answer it, but I'm putting myself out there and it's not too personal, it's fine. I left uni because in my second year, I probably will do a whole video on this, but just to cut a long story short, they wouldn't let me change a class that I wanted to change. They wouldn't let me change my dissertation subject. So I basically thought, if I don't move, if I don't do something different and carry on down this route, I'm not going to pass. I'm not going to come out with a result that I'm happy with. At that time I was driving from Chester to Liverpool, so it's about 45 minutes drive every single day or whenever I was in, and I resented the place. I didn't enjoy it, I didn't like it. We had Evie, who was our little baby puppy. I didn't want to leave her, and I just thought, I don't want to stay here and do something that I'm being told that I have to do when they'd let other people on my course change what they were doing, and I didn't think I was going to pass. So I went to talk to somebody about leaving, because you have to basically get signed off to leave, and she, funnily enough, was a psychology professor, and she was a massive feminist, which there is nothing wrong with that, but she was really had strong opinions. And I said to her that the reason, I didn't want to say to her that the reason that I was going was because they wouldn't let me change my dissertation subject, because by that time I'd convinced myself I didn't want to be there anymore, and I didn't want her to say, right, well, if it's either that or you're leaving, we'll change your dissertation subject, because I'd already decided I wanted to go. So I basically said that I was moving house with my boyfriend, and he's got a really good job, and we're moving closer to where he works, and this, that and the other. Big mistake. She was basically thinking that Thomas was forcing me to drop out of uni so that he could go and focus on his career, which was not at all what was going on. But I managed to get out of there anyway, and that is why I left. So that's that. She's then asked, what has my experience been with the Open University? So when I left uni, I transferred the credits that I'd already got over to Open University, and so this meant that those 2 years hadn't been wasted. I started Open University with 240 points from my first 2 years, which meant that I had 120 to gain from my last year that I could then gain at Open Uni and still come out with a degree. It's a lot different, Open University, but it's so much better. I think you've got to do something that suits you, that you really enjoy, and Open University is that for me. There's not really as much face-to-face tutoring, but if you need your tutor at any point, you just email them or ring them. There are lectures every 6 weeks, I think, at a chosen university near you that you can go to and meet other people from the course. I haven't been to one of those, they're not compulsory, and I find that I just don't need to do that. To me, walking into a room of people that I don't know petrifies me, so I didn't want to put myself in that position again when I didn't really need to. You get all the books sent to you that you need, and you can pay monthly for the course. There's like a massive support group online. Everything you need is online. I just find it so much easier. I find it's very different, but it's right for me, and I've not got long left now. I still haven't graduated, but I've got one module left that I start in October, and then that's it for me. So I've had a really good experience with the OU, definitely more than going to actual university. My sister Emma then asked, was it hard moving to uni? Yes. I was really excited about having my own space and going to Liverpool, buying plates and new bedding and things, having my own bathroom. But it was hard because I basically had to leave all of my family and home behind. Thomas stayed at home. I did get to see him quite often while I was at uni, but that was still difficult. And I think I adjusted quite quickly, but I did come home quite a lot. I definitely took the advantage of only being about an hour away in Liverpool and used to come back all the time. She also asked, which did I enjoy more, school, college or uni? Definitely school. And would I change anything? The only thing I would change is going to the other college that I could have gone to, not the sixth form that I went to, and I also would have not gone to university. Because being with Thomas, he hasn't gone to university, and being with him and seeing firsthand that actually to be successful in life you don't need to go to university. If there's another path that you can take that will get you to where you want to be, you don't need to go to university if that isn't on that path. So they are all the questions that I got asked, I think that I've rambled quite a lot, but hopefully you've understood what I was trying to say, and I just wanted to sit here and just talk to you all. And I just think these videos are sometimes a bit nicer, that they're a bit more relaxed, and yeah, they're all the answers to those questions. And I probably will put together another video about my university experience at some point, if that is something that you would all like to see. Please let me know in the comments if you do. I would love it if you could subscribe. I am trying so hard to make this channel and my blog the best that it can be, and your support means everything. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye! Good morning. I always seem to start my vlogs in this spot, don't I? It is Wednesday. It's the day of my